talk about 4 of the things that you do not need to have on your resume, guys. These 4 things can make or break you actually being looked at by an employer. Stay tuned. Hey there, welcome folks. I'm Dr. Shelley, wanting to make sure that you become a better version of yourself professionally. Guys, I want you to be aware that your resume is your ticket to employers looking at you, to employers having some form of interest in you. Your resume is what's selling you, and you want to make sure that it's the best possible version that you have with how the job market is out there. There's labor shortages in some areas, there's labor overages in the other. You want to make sure that you're the first person they choose in your field or in your industries. So there are about 4 things I'm going to go over to make sure that is not on your resume, guys. I want to make sure you know what doesn't need to be on there, what needs to be on there, to make sure that you can take advantage of all of the career opportunities available, especially in this economic climate. All right, guys, tip number 1. Having irrelevant experience on your resume based on the job that you're applying for. If you're applying for a fashion designing job, you do not need to put your IT experience on there because it is not relevant. If you have experience in both areas, then you need to have a resume that has fashion designing experience, and you also need to have an IT resume. You need to have 2 separate resumes in that regard. And of course, if you're looking for help in getting those resumes completed, that you can definitely go to mentorshelley.com/consultations. So I can definitely help you with those resumes if you need to separate them or you need to fine tune them. And of course, these are some of the tips I'm giving so you can do those things on your own. All right, guys, of course, tip number 2, we have not structuring your resume properly for the employers to be able to read it. Number 1, there's things that don't need to be on your resume. If you have been under a rock for the last 25 years, if you've been around that long, you know objectives don't belong on resumes anymore. Most employers are looking for the skills knowledge base or an abbreviation of your skills in the first part of your resume. The second part of your resume should have some bullet points as to what you can do for them, what experience do you have, what's your knowledge, what's your skill set. Those are selling points for you. What is it that you can do for that employer? Because really that's what your resume is supposed to tell the employer, what you can do for them. And of course, you can do, of course, in other videos when I talk about salary negotiation, then you can negotiate how much of your skills, knowledge, and abilities that you will offer to them for a fee. All right, guys, let's not derail, but your resume should have a summary of what it is that you have been doing in this specific career field. Section 2 should have bullet points of what it is that you already have a good knowledge base on. And section 3, you shouldn't have your education here. You should start describing if you've had awards, if you've had promotions, if you've had any kind of accomplishment specifically in each job or in your career as a whole, if you've gotten awards of some kind, if you have met the bonus because you have the most sales. You know, salesman of the year, 2020, 2021, things of that nature needs to be there. So not only you're telling them you have an idea, summarizing what it is that you can do for the employer, some of the skills you offer, but also that you've accomplished some things while you have been in this career space. Those 3 things need to be on the resume. Of course, your experience needs to be listed and also your educational endeavors that you have achieved so far. So that's to give you a better idea of what your resume should look like to an employer. So it's selling you right off the bat, guys. If you have accomplishments, it needs to be on there. Even if it seems, arbitrary, like an award for best customer service. If you're in the customer service field or if you're in any type of service-based field, that's going to be key to be on your resume. Those items need to be on your resume, guys. And of course, I can help you. You can check out the links below, how you can work with me one-on-one. And I do have a resume class coming up in the next couple of months. So check that out once I make the announcement for that. Just want you to know that I do have other resources coming down the pike. But right now, you can definitely work with me directly, one-on-one, by getting your resumes together so they can sell you to the employer. All right, guys, because just in case you weren't sure, you're in the business of selling, even if you think you're not selling. Okay? 3, not describing your experience properly. When you are talking about your experience with this employer, please don't just recite your duties. Everybody knows if you've been on a job for a certain period of time, you have to have been doing something in order for them to retain you for a certain period of time. Not necessarily just what you do, but how did you do it? What did you accomplish while you were doing it? For example, when I was working for an organization, they had a process halfway through and they had made some adjustments to the system. When I got there, I was able to fully implement that process to make reporting and administration on the back end of things for employees' leaves easier, the reporting piece of it easier. So when I say not necessarily what you did, but how did you do it? What did you bring to the table? That's some of the descriptions that need to be in the experience part of your resume. And of course, last but certainly not least, do not put references available upon request. Guys, that's also about 20 years old. Don't put that on your resume anymore. If what they're going to do is, you may want to have, you're going to need to have, if you're serious about being, and you want to be a comparable, competent person in the job market or in your profession, you're going to have a list of references available. If you do not have one of those and you have questions, you go to mentorshelley.com/contact. I can definitely walk you through that process. But if you would like for me to do that for you or help you with other career tools, because your references is a career tool, your resume is a career tool, cover letters are a career tool. If you want me to help you with that one-on-one with your entire professional portfolio, then definitely go to mentorshelley.com/consultations. We'll be able to help you with that one-on-one. But your references need to be ready. You do not have to put references available upon request. Because depending on the type of job you're going for, they're going to ask you for a list of references anyway. So have them ready, guys. So those are the 4 tips. I want to make sure you have them correctly. It's the making sure you don't have irrelevant experience on your resume for the particular job you're applying for. 2, you want to make sure that you structure the resume so it's not pleasing just to your eyes, but it's also going to grab the employer's attention with the skills you have to offer, a summary of what you have done up top, and also accomplishments that you've already achieved in your professional career. So you want to make sure those things are structured properly on your resume so it's easy for them to see, okay, what can they do for me? And that answers their question. And of course, number 2, not necessarily describing what you did, but how you did it at the employer, to put your own spin on it, to put your own personal pizzazz on your job duties and what you've accomplished or what did you, what sort of start to finish did you accomplish while you were there. And of course, last but certainly not least, please do not put references available upon request on your resume anymore. It is outdated, it is old, and you do not want to be considered antiquated when somebody looks at your resume. All right, guys, take care. And of course, I do have other resources available for your teenagers and your college graduates. If they are looking for guidance on how to get their career started, you can definitely check out my book called From Clueless Teenager to Consummate Professional. The link of that will be below as well. And of course, it looks like this, as you can see over here on the screen. Of course, guys, if you are looking for any additional help or questions or wanted to find out about additional resources, definitely go to mentorshelley.com/contact, where you can leave me a voicemail or an email message, and I'm more than happy to return your voicemail or email within 24 hours. Guys, your career is in your hands, but making these resume mistakes should not be one of them, okay? It should not be one of the obstacles that you're facing. Go ahead and implement those changes so it definitely helps you to become better and to become a better candidate in the job market. All right, guys, take care, of course. If you like this video, definitely like, share, subscribe if you're watching me on YouTube or anywhere else in the social media realms, guys. Take care. You have a good one. Bye. you.